Hey guys, Justin Bryant here from selfmadesuccess.com. In this video, I'm going to show you 10 Instagram marketing strategies for business in 2018 that you can use to grow your brand, get more followers, get more engagement, and ultimately get more sales. So the first thing you might want to do is optimize your bio. And I want to show you a really good example or two on Instagram, one being dictionary.com. So what's great about dictionary.com, whether you like that brand or not, they do a really good job with their bio. They do something that's short, sweet, to the point. They don't ramble on about anything in their bio. They tell you what they're doing. They tell you what their business does. They give you a link to go to. It's very clear what their logo is. They use their professional logo. It's easy to remember their username, dictionary.com. And if you're doing a brand and you're having multiple social media accounts or multiple accounts across different types of websites where you're trying to grow your brand, the thing to do is to try to get this username the same on all of them. So what you would do is you would try to have, like if you're dictionary.com, you would want to have facebook.com/dictionary.com as your Facebook page. You would want to have pinterest.com/dictionary.com as your Pinterest page. Things like that. Your Twitter username, you should be at dictionary.com. If possible, you want to have the same one across platforms. Make it easy to remember and have it universal so it's easy for people to find on multiple platforms if they want to follow you. Another thing they do well is they have a call to action and a link to something specifically for Instagram, and they have the word of the day, get word of the day examples, and more. So after you've described your business and what you do in a short and sweet sentence, you want to have a call to action. Right here is the call to action. Get the word of the day examples and more. Whatever your business is, let's see, for instance, if you're looking at a different one, another really good brand to learn from is Founder Magazine. They say get our free magazine. So they have like a free issue or something that you can get, and then they have a link to it. You also want to keep the link short and sweet. One way to do that is using a service called Bitly. Not only does it shorten your links, which is great for Instagram, but it allows you to track your clicks. So you know exactly how many people are actually clicking through from your Instagram profile. You can try different marketing campaigns and stuff like that to get more clicks. So highlight what you're trying to offer, have that call to action, and you might even add a few emojis. That's about the only thing you might change about dictionary.com's thing right here. You see Founder Magazine uses one, like a pointing down emoji to point down to the link to go to. A lot of profiles do stuff like that. You could say, GoPro does a good job, but they don't really use emojis. They do emojis pointing down to the link on Wayfair. So you'll see brands using like an emoji to kind of have a fun way of making bullet points, or they'll do like something like this where they'll point down to the actual link. Another thing you want to have is an email marketing service like GetResponse, Aweber, MailChimp, Infusionsoft, or something like that. I recommend GetResponse because it's much cheaper to start out than a lot of others, but they have all the bells and whistles that you want, all the features, and they allow you to grow without having to pay stupid amounts of money. So GetResponse will allow you to collect subscribers in these types of links. For instance, like at the free issue, you'll go to something like this, and the free issue will be something in exchange for your email or something like that. So you'll have this, and then you click join now or something, you get a free issue, you give them your email. That's kind of the exchange there, and that's how you grow your business, is by building an email marketing list. So I recommend GetResponse for that. You can use any of the other ones I mentioned, of course, as well, or do your own research. I recommend Bitly for shortening your links, And I recommend you look at Founder Magazine and Dictionary.com and Wayfair and brands like that to get an idea of how to do a good bio. Another thing you want to do is user-generated content. If you can get some user-generated content of people using your product or service, that's a really great way to promote your brand. So a few examples. GoPro has a lot of videos and images of people using their cameras and traveling the world, going on vacations and stuff like that. And you look at the engagement that they have. You look at how many followers they have, 14.1 million. You know, people get excited when they get to see their image or their video that they submitted being posted on a major brand's profile, being seen by 14 million people. It's like your little 5 minutes of fame. So, you know, you have all these different posts, and a lot of these are going to come from their actual customers. So it makes you want to buy a GoPro camera so that you can be part of this community and post all kinds of cool stuff, travel the world, and capture those moments. Another company that does a good job of user-generated content is something like Wayfair, where usually they'll have some sort of home decor or product that they sell on their website, and then they'll, you know, have a mention of the person who designed it. So, you know, you can go to all kinds of different posts through here, and a lot of times they'll have like at, you know, here it is, at Chris Loves Julia master bathroom, for instance. So you have that as an example. They'll have like at and then the username of the person who designed whatever it is. So here's another one, at a beautiful mess. They designed that, you know, using Wayfair products. So stuff like that is another example of using user-generated content and making people want to do a lot of the work for you while marketing your brand. Starbucks is another example. They have all these different pictures of people with their frappuccinos and their lattes and stuff, traveling the world or just walking along the street or whatever. And they're getting their pictures shared by Starbucks. So one way to do this is to have a submissions page. So you have your own website. You may have heard of like the YouTube channel People Are Awesome, where they have all kinds of videos and stuff. Well, they have a submissions page where they can make these compilations out of all kinds of video clips, and these clips are not from all these professional actors and stuff. They're from just everyday people like you and me who post us doing cool stunts. So you have this submit video tab here, and you can see where you can submit a video, and you pretty much giving the permission to include the videos in their compilations and stuff, which helps with copyright and also gives them more footage to work with. So stuff like that is another thing you might want to do. Another thing that will grow your business on Instagram is using lead magnets. Now, I mentioned earlier using Bit.ly to shorten your links. You just copy and paste the links here. Make sure you have a free account with Bit.ly, and it'll allow you to use, you know, a link like you see at the bottom of these profiles, and it'll let you shorten the link and track the clicks. And then you want to have an email marketing service like GetResponse, Infusionsoft, Aweber, MailChimp, or something like that to collect the leads. But you got to give people something for their email. They're not just going to give you their email, you know, unless they're just a huge fan of your brand. So like Founder Magazine as an example, they give you like a free magazine. You sign up, you go through the process, and you know, there you go. You get a free issue, or you get a free, you know, part of an issue or whatever it is. And so you want to do something like that. A lead magnet is something you give away for free in exchange for an email. So you want to have something to track the clicks. You want to have something to collect the emails, like some sort of service where you can email the people after they've subscribed to your list. And then you want to have some sort of free ebook, free case study, or free episode of something, free issue of something, whatever. Something that's a little more of a premium product than what you already are putting out. So don't give them like a something that's about the same amount of information you would normally give out. Give something that's better. Give something that's higher quality in exchange for an email. Almost something like they would normally pay for. So there's all kinds of different ones, and you want to rotate those. You don't want to have the same special link here all the time. You don't want to just have a link to your regular website either, unless you just really don't care about getting extra sales. You want to have real eye-catching images and videos in your posts and stuff. You want to just kind of give something that people can't hardly resist, and then have a call to action, maybe a emoji pointing downward to it. Like get our free magazine would be the call to action, stuff like that. So those types of things can really add up to a lot more sales. Shop our feed, that's the one they use at Wayfair, and then they'll take you to their page where you can look at their stuff. Share with GoPro and everything there, where you can share your images and stuff. You want to use lead magnets to get more things like that to help you. Another thing you can do is find people to help you grow your brand. So you might start out small if you have a small Instagram account, and what you can do is you can use a service called Shoutcart, or just do it the old-fashioned way and just email the brands at their contact emails on their websites. Usually every website has some sort of contact form, but you're probably not going to get a lot of responses. You're going to just have to play the numbers game that way. Now, if you use something like Shoutcart, you can pay them to give a shout out to you, or you can approach people and do like a shout out for a shout out type of thing, whatever. But this is an actual brand that is built for this. It's called shoutcart.com. You can go through there. You can see the different influencers on there. A lot of major brands will be on here. You have 3.6 million followers with this one, 1.9 million, 1.1. You have all kinds of different brands, and you want to find one that's related to your niche. So you can pay them to share your content, which is a paid shout out using shoutcart.com, or you can you can just ask them to do it and show that you have really cool stuff and hope that they're nice enough to just do it. You can also do a shout out for shout out, whatever. So you might want to start with smaller brands and then work your way up to the ones that are kind of related in the same industry, and get more and more followers, but probably in a similar rate of followers as you. So another thing you want to do is post at the right times. On Instagram, you typically want to post as there's a compilation of studies done that they came to the conclusion after averaging out like 14 or 15 studies. CoSchedule.com, which is a marketing site, actually came to the conclusion that you want to post 1 to 2 times per day. That's what the best brands typically do, 1 to 2 times per day. And 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is when you want to do one post, and then around 2 in the morning or so is another time to do a post. For whatever reason that works on Instagram, it might be because a lot of other people are not posting, so therefore you're getting a bigger chunk of the engagement for people who are up at those times. Or if they're in other time zones, they'll see it, and they might be just getting out of bed in the UK, and you're posting at a weird time in the US. So things like that can really add up to just having less competition in the feed. You want to post outside of business hours for the most part. You want to post videos around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 34% more engagement usually when you do that. Sundays typically have low engagement, and there's another post kind of like this one that sums up some of this better, but Monday and Thursday are two of the best days to post on Instagram. And this is, again, the accumulation of a lot of studies averaged together. So this isn't just coming from one study that might be, kind of off. Sunday typically has very low engagement. So keep those things in mind when it comes to posting and how often to post on Instagram. Another thing, follow industry leaders and model after them. This is something I've used for pretty much any business that actually worked out for me, is just to follow the best people and figure out what they're doing that I can emulate. Obviously, you don't want to copy people. Obviously, you have to put your own spin on things. But say if you're like trying to build a brand about helping business owners or something, then some of your competitors might be Entrepreneur Magazine or Inc. Magazine or even Founder Magazine. So you could use those 3 brands, follow them on Instagram, see their stuff in your feed all the time, and get an idea of how they're growing their brand. Because see, all of them have a ridiculous amount of followers. Founder has 1.4 million, Entrepreneur has 1.8 million, and Inc. Magazine still has 390,000. So that's pretty solid, and if you could even get the average of those 3, you would have multiple 6 figures, if not more, followers, and that would be a huge win for your business on Instagram. So you can see that they typically post things like quotes. They'll post pictures of maybe entrepreneurs that they're interviewing or entrepreneurs that are starting new businesses, things like that. Entrepreneur, they have a lot of video tips and stuff like that, interviews, etc. Quotes are pretty common between these types of brands and those types of things. And of course, they'll have occasional posts about their latest magazine or brand updates and things like that. So follow other people who are top dogs in your industry and then learn from them all the time. Also, you want to make appealing content for the demographic that Instagram has. If you don't know the demographic, it is about 61% of Instagram users are 18 to 34 years old. So you're talking young adults, college age, right out of college, starting their careers. Those are the kind of users that they mostly have. 61% are just within that small group age-wise. And about 7% more females than males on Instagram, somewhere around that number. So it's more female-based and young people-based. Make sure you have content that really appeals to them. So you can go around, look at different ones that typically perform well. If you find certain types of posts that get way better engagement than others, you need to learn to duplicate that more. So like for instance, if I'm Inc. Magazine, I look at these quotes and I notice that most of these quotes tend to get a lot more engagement. In many cases, 3 to 5 times as much engagement as all the other posts. So if they post a picture of an entrepreneur, it might get 1,000, might get 500, likes or something like that. Whereas if they post a good quote, they'll get 5,000 likes. They'll get 2,000 likes. They'll get another 2,000 likes. They might get even more than that, 8,000 likes, 6,000 likes. So the numbers leave really good clues to what you should be posting, but you want to make sure you know your demographic and optimize for them. All right. Another thing you want to do for your brand is you want to post with the right frequency and consistency. Again, you want to post about 1.5 times per day on Instagram. I already showed you like the best times of the day, best days of the week, and you want to post on 1 to 2 times per day recommended. High would be 3 times per day. So on average, 1.5 times per day is how often you want to post on Instagram. And as far as what to post on Instagram, how often to post promotional content, typically, like when they had, actually it was digitalmarketer.com had a guest post from someone who's in charge of a lot of the social media at Founder Magazine, and he talked about how they would post something about their latest issue, and they would do that only like every 20 or 30 posts. So you'll notice that he's right. He they don't post too much about their, latest issue or direct links to their products. Most of the time they're posting things like quotes and stuff like that because they know that'll build their brand more, and that when they do post business related stuff like this, like their latest issue, then they'll have a huge audience to see it. But if you post promotional stuff too often, then you'll find that a lot of people won't want to follow you, or a lot of people will unfollow you. So you want to be careful about that. And he said every 20 to 30 posts do something like a direct link to a product or something, but that might be a little on the conservative side. You might could get away with every, maybe like 20% business stuff, 80%, just quotes and behind the scenes and entertaining type stuff. So if you want to use a few tools for tracking that, I already showed you Bitly. That's great for tracking your links. Another couple of tools that you might check out are Affiliately for your metrics, and Social Blade's another great one. Great thing about Social Blade, they have all kinds of stuff on here for all kinds of websites. You would just put it on Instagram. You can look at different usernames and stuff, and check out what kind of traffic different ones are getting and stuff like that. You can look at the top list. If you're looking at the top 50 most followed Instagram users, for instance, you need to get some ideas. You can look that up on Social Blade, but they also have all kinds of stuff to help you track your analytics and things like that. And last but not least, my last tip, which I hope you don't have to use, but is something that can work, is you can follow people who also follow similar brands, so they will follow you back. Now, about 10 to 20% are likely to follow you back if you follow them, and they're related. They're interested in related things to your industry. So, for instance, if you're doing a business brand related to entrepreneurship or something, then you might follow people who follow Entrepreneur. You follow people who follow Inc. magazine. You follow people who follow a Founder magazine. Let's say you follow 30 to 50 people per day. You get about 10 to 20% likely to follow you back. And then you can find out whether you want to keep following the people that don't follow you back. Because eventually it's not going to look good if you are following way more people than are following you. It's going to make you look like you're just trying to, get more people to look at your stuff and don't actually care about what other people are posting. So there are apps out there that will help you manage your followers. You can unfollow the people who don't follow you back. Again, I hope that you don't have to do this. I'd rather see you do ads, paid ads and stuff like that, than do something like this. This is a last resort when it comes to getting followers on Instagram. Now, you can use something like unfollowers for Instagram, Follow Cop or something like that to manage this. If you need an app that will let you do this for free and manage who's following you and decide who you want to follow to hopefully grow your brand. So that's it for this video. If you thought this was helpful, please like and subscribe so I can create more videos like this for you. Also, if you want to let me know what you thought about the video or share something you'd like me to cover in the future, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and get your feedback. I'll also have show notes for you on selfmadesuccess.com as usual. And I'll have the links to these different profiles and tools that I mentioned and tips that I mentioned in the video. All of that on one page for you at selfmadesuccess.com. I'll also have a link in the video description for you as well if you're watching on YouTube. So other than that, I hope the video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.